Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is T-Jazz of T-Jazz Art and Comics, and welcome back to Thursday Night News. And now that we know what the oranges were for all along, a lot has happened. This article is brought to you by Automation Japan. And guys, we just can't hate these payment processors enough. Once again, a video game has been struck. So let's get into it, shall we? Japanese adult game dev blocked from receiving Steam proceeds from all ages version of their game by domestic bank. Unfortunately, it doesn't say which bank it is, but I think it's Visa and MasterCard related for sure, am I right? Haha. Let's get into it. Indie developer Mashumo Mau was informed by their bank that they would not be able to receive payments from the Steam version of their game Hustle Battle Card Gamers. The Japanese indie developer has reported that their bank is refusing to process international transfers related to the Steam version of their anime-style deck building RPG Hustle Battle Card Gamers, leaving them without their legally earned income. Hustle Battle is an R-rated game that originally released on Japan platforms like DL Site and Fanza in December of 2024. The Steam version, which is localized and adapted for audiences of all ages, was released in March, like 2 months ago, of this year through US-based publisher Kodana Games. However, in the Series X post from May 12th, the developer said they were set to receive a payment from Kara Games related to earnings from Hustle Battle, but instead received a call from Dashi Hakushu Bank. Okay, so it does say the bank. It must be a Japanese bank, which suggested the transaction might not be accepted. Based on the exchange, the developer got the impression that this was related to the nature of the game, as the bank seemed to be looking into it and asked empathetic questions like, is this revenue from a game featuring girls? That's an odd question to ask. I mean, if it looks like a cute anime girl, talks in a high-pitched voice like an anime girl, it must be a boy, am I right? Okay. The following day, the developer visited their bank and were informed that international payments related to Hustle Battle, Steam's version, would indeed not be processed. The bank said the decision was based on thorough review of the game's content. Although the developer made it clear the Steam releases was an all ages version, the bank maintained its stance, arguing that it is judged that the characters appear to be minors. Geez, where have you heard that before? Which led to the content being deemed problematic. I'm so sick of this, guys. Like, come on. They're kids battling card games. What are we gonna do? Ban Yu-Gi-Oh now? Like, are we for real? And mind you, Yugi is a minor in the entire series, and 95% of the characters are minors, but they don't get banned. But two cute anime girls who are clearly not drawn in a certain way, am I right? Like, these look very tame, are problematic? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this shit, guys, and I feel so bad for this developer. I do hope that they find a way to reverse this. This isn't right. It doesn't look adult themed to me. Maybe it was, as it said, it was originally, but they had an all ages version, so who knows? I feel so bad. So if you can support this creator, please do. I'm sure there's an auto translation. I don't have this auto translation of the tweet, but this Japanese senator, if you have not heard of him, Ziko, I believe is his name, and he's been strong, as it says right here. He's very anti-censorship, anti blocking artists from creating, pro freedom of speech, pro creative freedoms, which apparently does not exist in Japan like the US. And this is what he had to say. Sales revenue that could be previously received suddenly becomes impossible to receive one day. The unreasonable and irrational debanking practices that pose a serious risk to many creators must be conveyed more forcefully in the political arena. And I could not agree with that statement even more. As someone who is an artist, I am a strong believer of freedom of expression, even if I disagree with the art style. But really, these look like two cute anime girls, innocently drawn, and very tame from other type of art that I've seen. Trust me, guys. And speaking of games, man, this just keeps happening and happening. The 27-year-old man sent Nintendo letters claiming that he planted multiple bombs within the premises, has been arrested and threatened to blow everyone up. I wonder if Nintendo tried to sue him for copyright. Well, let's also get into this article. Not long after Nintendo had to cancel large-scale events in 2023 and in 2024 due to threats of its employees and event-goers, the company is being hit with bomb threats yet again. On May 12th, Koyo police arrested 27-year-old unemployed Japanese man on suspicion of sending letters threatening to blow up Nintendo's headquarters. According to the police, the man was arrested on the grounds of suspect obstruction of business after sending Nintendo envelopes containing messages like, "I'm gonna blow you all up, my plans cannot be thwarted." He also threatened that he already planted multiple bombs within the company's premises. Nintendo reported this to the police March 16th of this year, after which officers searched the area. Nothing suspicious was found, but the man has since admitted to the charges. The police are currently investigating his motive. Well, again, I wonder if it was copyright reasons or, Nintendo has been refusing to, and have been refusing to put all of their games for sale. But I am glad that everybody is safe, nobody got hurt, and obviously if there is some type of threat, you need to take it very, very, very seriously. So glad that it did not turn into there was an anime studio, I'm forgetting the name, but there was an anime studio back in, I believe it was 2019, that unfortunately got burned down by a person in Japan who was also unemployed. So thankfully this has a happy ending. And speaking of threats and censorship, man, we gotta fight harder, artists. You artists need to wake up, because they're coming for your favorite stuff, And even Kickstarter is now hopping in the censorship train. Brought to you by Pirate Nation. We're gonna look at multiple of his tweets today. So shout out to Pirate Nation for exposing all of this. Kickstarter has changed its rules about adult and mature content. The platform states Kickstarter does not value for adult-only or sexually explicit content, such content is prohibited. The new rule ban projects made mainly for sexual pleasure. They prohibit porn and any material that shows or suggests sexual acts, including having fun with yourself. They also ban images showing female assets, private parts, or area between certain back parts, as well as implied nudity through lingerie, tight clothing, or see-through outfits. Special toys designed to go inside you know where, if sold mostly for a sexual use, and content showing violent or forced or harmful acts is not allowed. Some things remain okay with limits. Kickstarter allows romance or spicy literature, including comic books, if all images follow the rules. Simple acts of kissing, cuddling, or fine. Non-sexual nudity is permitted only in educational, scientific, or school projects. That's a little weird, but continue. Items like certain wet things or underwear can be founded if not mainly for sexual use. Okay, weird, but let's finish. Creators cannot avoid these rules with cropped, blurred, or misleading images. Wow. So, I'm confused of this line. Like, not this line. This is the line I'm confused about. So this is fine, but the other stuff that I do not agree with isn't. I mean, you have the right to freedom of expression as long as it's not hurting anybody, but what do you mean by spicy literature? So the book talk girlies that consume too much of this content are allowed to have their stuff, but nobody else? I'm so confused with these rules all the time. I really am, because it's like, you don't allow all of these things, which I don't like in my stuff, to be fair, but you don't allow any of these things. But you allow that? And what do you mean by spicy? Like, you're allowing, like in one book talk, two cousins kissing each other and romanticizing that? Are we allowing that? Or, you know, family incest with uncles and nieces, and this is in another book talk. Is that okay? Like, stuff that you're like, really now? Really? That's okay, but not any of that. Even though they have a section in the app that says for 18 plus or 21 plus for all of this stuff. So censorship is stupid. Censorship is absolutely stupid, guys. Like, come on. Are we for real? Like, I've seen comics on my feed on Kickstarter that specifically said this is for 21 plus. And as long as it says it's 21, I don't see the problem. Right? But you can't say this is banned and then say that isn't. That's not okay. And speaking of not okay, God, I fear more and more for our UK friends. I really do. And fun fact, did you know that in the UK you have to have a TV license? Imagine if that was, if that existed here. Oh boy. UK ministers are discussing a major change to the TV licensing that could require people with Netflix or Amazon Prime to pay nearly £180 yearly fee. The plan aims to fund the BBC after the current agreement ends in 2027, as the government sources want to retain the license fee instead of switching to ads and full-blown subscriptions. Currently, no TV license is needed for on-demand streaming like Netflix, only for live TV or BBC iPlayer. The BBC says the old rules no longer reflect how people watch shows today, and the idea remains under discussion and not yet into law. So here's what they mean by this part. So if you follow creators like Heel versus Babyface or Little Platoon, Heel versus Babyface explained that he has to pay this fee because YouTube is now considered live TV. So him and Little Platoon have to deal with this increased fee. That is absolutely ridiculous. And now they want to add it to Netflix and to Amazon Prime on top of that. So God forbid you're gonna arrest people for wrongthink, and then you're gonna charge them more of a fee to just have a television to just watch their stuff. I'm so glad. I can't emphasize how much I am so glad to be an American, because this is dumb. This is just absolutely dumb. Like, I can't fathom having a license for a TV. Can you? Like, even the US government knows that if this was even implemented or thought of, conceptualized, in the States, people would riot. People would legit riot, and we wouldn't feel more and more united as we have been lately. Speaking of the US, now I find this to be interesting. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announces lawsuit against Netflix. General Attorney and sued Netflix for spying on Texans, including children, and collecting users' data without their knowledge or consent. For years, Netflix presented to consumers that it did not collect or share exclusive user data. In reality, Netflix is a logging company that records and monetizes billions of behavioral events and occasionally streams movies. Netflix uses international engineering to track and log users' viewing habits, preferences, devices, household networks, application usage, and other sensitive behavioral data. Every interaction on the platform becomes a data point receiving information about the user. This tracking applied not only to adult accounts, but also to kids' profiles. Now, this is nothing new. Unfortunately, a lot of companies do this, and that's how they keep you addicted. Besides, making sure that you're constantly on their app to say, buy some expensive soap or, stupid mushroom coffee, right? So this is nothing new. I'm just wondering, why now, when we've been complaining about it since 2018? At least a few years. And we already have phones and TV spying on us as well, unfortunately. And we are finding ways to prevent that. So, this is going to be interesting. I don't think nothing will come of it, unfortunately, because at the end, Netflix and this Attorney General will probably settle and still keep doing what they're doing. It's just sad. It's just sad. And speaking of sad, so if you're not aware, if somebody isn't flagging channels, YouTube, as of late, and it actually started with the Warhammer 40k channels, these channels are being struck for unauthentic content. And what is happening is the AI is taking certain clips and it's trying to memorize your voice, your mannerisms, and all that. But if it feels like it's too repetitive or you're repeating yourself over and over again, you will get this email right here that says you are no longer part of the partner program and therefore you make no income. Meanwhile, YouTube makes all the income, as you can see by this post right here. And I have an interesting theory about that. Okay? So as you know, a lot of companies have invested in AI in general. But here's the problem. AI is very expensive to maintain, not only for environmental reasons such as their monitors and data centers are using a lot of water, but also for financial reasons. They're investing in this, yes, but they're getting no money in return. So here is my theory as to why this is happening to channels. Investors need their money back. And these companies have to pay back these investors somehow. So my theory is, the way that YouTube is paying back these investors is through them getting paid to have the advertise running and not the creator, which is still messed up either way, because you have automated systems looking at these reviews, and of course the automated system is always going to side with the AI, and very less humans looking at these problems, and YouTube is still just going to roll out more AI features, which is frustrating. Now, I'm not part of the partner program because I am an extremely small channel, but I am definitely keeping this in mind for when this community hopefully grows and expands and reaches to more and more people. So I feel really bad for all these channels. There are some, thankfully, that have gotten their monetization back, but there are many others just like this that have not gotten their monetization back. And it's sad because you have to tag Team YouTube on X in order to get stuff done. Or you have to go into YouTube Studio and contact your rep to see what the hell is going on. It's dumb either way. So, will this lead to more creators going to other platforms? I don't think so, because YouTube is the bigger dog and it gets more eyes. But the more we speak out, the more we're going to hopefully make these alternative platforms more money and not YouTube. But I don't see YouTube coming down for when the AI bubble bursts, which FYI I cannot wait for. And I'm sure you can't wait for this, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that is right. Coming to you by Binding into Comics, GTA 6 pre-orders reportedly going live on Monday according to leaks. Now this, nobody can confirm. This did just come out today. It is a leak, so please take it with a grain of salt. Let's get into it. Is it finally the time? According to leaks, GTA 6 pre-orders are about to go live. The long-awaited open-world sequel to the beloved GTA 5 is almost here, set to release on November 19th of this year. But soon, according to leaks, you can pre-order the highly anticipated title. According to a post on X by Cheap A Games, emails are being sent to Best Buy affiliate partners. The reputable source is known for providing video game related deals and news. Along with X-Post, YouTuber Frogboy X1 Gaming received an email from a Best Buy to his Best Buy affiliate account signaling the pre-order campaign as well. Emails show that pre-orders will begin this coming Monday, May 18th, and go through this coming Thursday, May 21st. If that's truly the case, we should expect a GTA 6 trailer to be on its way. While it might seem like crazy news that GTA 6, this is GTA 6 we're talking about, most games would have pre-orders available when the game is announced. But the wait for the 6th title has been long and grueling for fans everywhere if this leak is true. The next major news from Take-Two is their earnings call on May 21st. So if this news does not end up coming to fruition, hopefully there will be more information to come. Many have pointed out the pattern that Rockstar seems to make their games, seeing that pre-orders tend to open a few months before launch and are often tied to major trailer. So we'll see, guys, if you are a GTA fan, which I'm sure 95% of you are. Hopefully you get your leak like I did my leak a few weeks ago. So I do hope you guys get this game because I know you guys been waiting a long time. Hopefully the price will go down, but who's to say? The last time we heard anything is Rockstar was actually backing out of AI, so there's some good news there. And speaking of good news, I just wanted to show these off. So you may not be aware, or I'm sure you have, if you are a Gachikura fan, sorry if I'm butchering that name. A few months ago, there was controversy over casting over this play. It is going to be an official stage play. And of course, that got taken care of and blah blah blah. And you know, got out-ratioed. But I just want to appreciate the prop master. Whoever is in charge, you have understood the assignment, and you've won Prop Master of the Year. These are really cool. And to me, I always like theater things as well, hence why you hear 1920s music in my background, as well as old movie stuff. But this is really cool to see my two favorite loves of all time just coming together, which I didn't know was a thing in Japan until basically the internet. So that's cool. And one more appreciation post right here. Somebody decided in the city of Guanadancho, I'm not sure where that is, so I'm sorry if I butcher that name, has made an entire, along with other 20 urban artists, have made an entire Saint Seiya wall. And look how clean that is. They even got the gold saints, Athena. They have the original saints, the dark, I think those are the dark saints, but it's just, this is so gorgeous and I think it's cool. And as a Saint Seiya fan, I can appreciate that. Like, look at the shine. They captured all the shading and it's so cool. I love it. I would have loved to partake in this type of mural. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for Thursday Night News. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that way you can get your news every Thursday night. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Now go be rebels and create.